what is standard deviation? Standard deviation, and it's basically in the word. Standard, what is the normal? And deviation is how far you move away from the normal. So we want to know how big is the spread from the average and further out. And you're usually going to see this, what is called a bell curve. And 0 in the middle being the mean, which is the average. What is something more, the most popular thing to happen? And when you go this way and that way, here, this piece, the -1 and the 1, here is where most of your average is going to happen. What is most likely to happen? So 34% of your data will go this way, 34% will go this way, and this will consist of 68% of most of your information. And what do I mean by that? I mean, whatever information you would grab, like, for example, in your class, how many people, if you're in ninth grade, how many of your students will be considered at the age of, or what are the ages of your classroom? 68%, most of your average will be, oh, well, in ninth grade, we're 13 or 14 years old. 68% more than likely will be at that age. Then you would have some people that are younger, maybe 13.5% are 12, because depending on what month they were born. Maybe some of them were going to be a little older because they repeated the class, or they were just, again, born in a different month. But again, the data is always going to have an average. And the further you go out on either side, the smaller the chance that it will fall under. This is called the bell curve, guys. And that's basically the standard deviation. 68% falls under that one standard deviation, which will be that one standard deviation. From here to here is one standard deviation, okay? And 95% falls under two standard deviations. So if you were to add the percentages all the way to 2, so you added these percentages, you would get a total of 95%. And 99.7% falls under 3 standards deviation. So if you were to go all the way, if you were to go all the way to 3, if you were to go all the way to 3, if you added all of these percentages, you would go to 99.7. And at that point, I mean, yes, there are more standard deviations, but since you already have a 99.7, a lot of people say that's good enough. And this is known as the empirical rule, the 68, 95, 99.7 rule, because all of your data, almost 100% of the time, is going to land like this. So a lot of statisticians use this rule to base their information on, because that's usually how it goes. And in the next video, we're going to talk about a few examples on how is this the case.